I've been noticing the questions people ask about Celtic paganism on social media. I do try to answer these in person when I see them, but there are a few which come up so often that I thought I might try to tackle them here on my YouTube channel. I might aim for one a week, but let's see how it goes. It seems like quite a few people are worried about offending the gods. I believe that they are worthy of great respect. Do your best to show them respect, and you should be fine. When we get into talking about humans relating to deities, we're in the realm of personal experience and personal opinion. What I'm going to say in this video is my opinion based on my experience. I've been a Celtic polytheist for about 40 years, so I have quite a bit of experience, and I've heard about a lot of other people's experiences in that 40 years too. But that doesn't give me the right to say that what you're experiencing is right or wrong, true or untrue, and I know that. I'm seeing quite a few questions about offending the gods. First, for the most part, you really don't need to worry. If you're trying to be respectful and trying to reach out, pray, or make an offering to most any Celtic deity, I don't think you need to worry about making some kind of minor mistake which is going to offend that god or goddess, causing them to withdraw from you in a huff or to punish you in some way. I'm sure some of these ideas about angry or offended deities are coming from stories people are hearing from others. Whenever someone talks about their experiences with a deity, there are a few possibilities to keep in mind. First, they might be describing what happened very accurately. Second, their intentions are honest, but they imagined at least some parts of what they're telling you. Third, they're making at least parts of the story up to get attention or something like that. I've never experienced anything worse than a frosty silence from a deity, and that was generally because I'd promised to do something and let it slide. I don't have the impression that deities are prone to strong emotions or outbursts or anything like that. I'm quite an emotional person. I feel joy, I cry easily, I love easily, and I lose my temper pretty easily. You might think I'd experience the gods as being the same, but they strike me as pretty detached most of the time. Of course, that's just my experience. Also, if you have very authoritarian parents or you grew up with the idea of an angry Old Testament God who maybe does a lot of punishing, you may need to do some work to get over the idea that Celtic deities are going to be like that. If you're new to this and you manage to get the attention of a deity, then they'll know that you're not sure of everything yet. If it's really important to that deity that you do things differently, they'll probably find a way to let you know about that, which shows you how to improve rather than one which drives you away or hurts you. If you have a niggling worry that Bridget might prefer an offering of beer to an offering of wine, go with the beer. If you're not sure how Bledeath would feel about cut flowers on her altar, maybe hold off on the flowers and just give an offering of water or write her a poem. Perhaps you can ask someone who's been giving her offerings for longer what they think. You might be able to ask the deity themselves. If you feel like you hear their voice sometimes, it's certainly worth a try. But we can't expect deities to answer our every little query and constantly reassure us. Some people like to take divinations after they give an offering to ask whether it has been accepted. Now, that can work, but I think you need to be a little careful with this. First, some forms of divination require a lot of interpretation. Something like an oracle card can be pretty ambiguous. Going to the other extreme and asking a pendulum for yes, no, or flipping a coin doesn't leave much room for the possibility that the deity has no opinion or isn't even listening. The other issue with divination is that if you're feeling anxious or something, divination doesn't work very well. You may get a particular answer because that's the answer you expect. On balance, I think it's best just to make your offering in good faith and hope the deity will receive it with good grace. If you're developing a devotional relationship with that deity, you'll get things figured out as you go along. Think of it a bit like offering something to a friend or choosing a birthday gift for an older relative. Perhaps you bake them a chocolate cake only to find out they're not that keen on chocolate. They might not be thrilled, but they'll get that you were trying to do something nice. And next time you'll know to make carrot cake. Another thing people are concerned about is making deities angry or jealous by honoring other deities. Now, I only know about Celtic deities, but generally it should be fine to honor as many of them as you like. In fact, I think it may be wiser to start out by reaching out to a few deities a little, whichever ones you feel interested in or drawn to, and developing small relationships rather than focusing on one intense or exclusive relationship, making a big thing about it. That can look however you want it to look. Do a weekly ritual in which you say a little prayer to each deity you're honoring, or divide your time up among them in some other way, different days of the week, different times of day, or different phases of the moon. It's probably good to find a way to be kind of consistent, but if praying to a particular god or goddess always just leaves you feeling like they're not interested in you, you might as well stop. There might be some situations where two deities have an unresolved clash of some kind in a myth, and then you might not want to honor them both, or at least not at the same time. For example, Aranhrod and Gwydion have a problematic relationship in the Mabinogi. It's possible that in the cosmic mystery of things, they're not actually enemies, but out of respect, I won't try to make that call. The smith god Govnu kills Brigg's son in a story called The Second Battle of Maitwera. So again, that combination might not be a good idea. This is one reason that knowing the myths about deities you're interested in is so important. Myths are such a wonderful key to understanding a deity in so many ways. If you ever need help finding the stories of a particular deity, it's okay to reach out to me and I'll try and point you in the right direction.